Hello everybody, welcome to this afternoon's weather briefing video from TempleWXBlog. I hope everyone's been having a wonderful day today. I just wanted to take a quick moment to shout out our sponsor Becca's Jams and Jellies here at the beginning of this video for making this all possible. We would not be here without her, so we appreciate everything that she's done for us. Great person, great jams, 1000% recommend. Now, we've got a lot to cover in today's video. In case you haven't heard, we do have a severe weather threat that's coming up tomorrow afternoon. Today, ultimately, no storms ended up forming, which is a good thing, but could potentially be a bad thing later on. We could have more instability for tomorrow, which would mean stronger storms. We have been upgraded to a level 2 out of 5 threat, with a level 3 out of 5 not out of the question. So we have a lot to cover. Stay tuned for the forecast today.
So as you can currently see, we are all dry on radar, but do not be shocked if there is a stray shower from into this evening into overnight. The severe weather to our north mostly has diminished. Most of it just didn't seem to form, so we are pretty much clear on the severe weather for today, but do not be shocked if there is an isolated shower. So now what we're going to do is we're going to take it to our NHC, or National Hurricane Center. So as you can see, for the next 7 days on our National Hurricane Center, there seems to be no activity, but there was a rare wave that came off of Africa, but it didn't do much because it is before hurricane season. Hurricane season starts June 1st, but that was kind of cool to see, but it didn't do much, so we are all good.
Alrighty, so let's take a little dive into today's Storm Prediction Center forecast for severe weather. We do have a slight risk in effect for parts of northeast Georgia. That was for those expected storms from earlier today, this afternoon into evening, but they never really materialized. We didn't have a significant severe weather threat occur in those regions, so fortunately we've missed out severe weather today. Now, in the plains, they're wishing that they had the same luxury of missing out on severe weather, where they have a level 4 out of 5 moderate risk in effect. There are already, or currently as we speak, several tornado warnings, many, like dozen, maybe more severe thunderstorm warnings, some of which including large hail damaging winds as well. So we do have a very dangerous situation for them. If anyone's watching with family in there, or even traveling into that area, make sure to stay weather aware as that storm system parts by.
So, as we can see here for our Storm Prediction Center, we are currently in a slight risk, but as you can see out just a little bit to our west, there is an enhanced risk. Now, what this means, if you know any family members or anybody in that enhanced risk, there is a medium tornado threat, a pretty low hail threat, and a pretty high wind threat. So, what this means, this could be pretty impactful. This is a 3 out of 5, so this could mean there could be some numerous severe storms in that area. Now, for us, we are in a slight risk. This means a pretty low, maybe up to a medium tornado threat, a low hail threat, and a pretty high wind threat. Now, what we've been seeing, this could be a potential outbreak, and this enhanced risk could push to our way. But for now, stay tuned, we are in a slight risk.
Okay, so here's Wednesday's severe weather threat, and you can see we are in a thunderstorm risk, which is not outlined specifically by the SPC. So this would technically be a level 0 out of 5 threat, but this could just be some remnant showers and thunderstorms from after that storm system kicks through with the severe weather threat for tomorrow. You can see there's a marginal risk, a level 1 out of 5 for parts of the Atlantic coast, ranging from Florida all the way up to West Virginia and Maryland. But I'm not expecting really any severe weather at this time frame. This was from, I believe, 7 a.m. Wednesday morning onward through the rest of Wednesday. Not expecting any severe weather, maybe just some remnant showers and thunderstorms in the morning. Alrighty, so I just wanted to take a quick moment to point out one of our AI models that I like to use for forecasting. This model typically overdoes the severe weather threat a little bit, so take this with a bit of a grain of salt. But you can see here we do have a moderate or a 30% risk outlined for our area, with a 60% risk of severe weather outlined for areas to our west. Now this is for tomorrow, and as I said, I think this model typically overdoes severe weather just a little bit, but this kind of gets the point across. The highest threat's going to be a bit to our west unless things change, but we could absolutely have some numerous severe thunderstorms with, I think, the biggest potential of severe weather would be damaging winds for our area. Brief spin-up tornadoes are absolutely possible, and I'll go into some more models here later about those. but this is absolutely could be a high-end day, especially for areas to our west where more tornadoes are possible as the storms form. So just make sure to keep yourselves weather aware. You know, we're in that 30%, areas to our west are in that 60%, and that's where you really just want to let your loved ones know, make sure they know, hey, you've got most likely got some storms coming tomorrow. Be prepared for strong winds and tornadoes, potentially even some hail. But generally speaking, this is a sort of outline for what we expect for tomorrow.
Alrighty, let's take a look at our HRRR model. This is at Tuesday, 12 a.m. We're going to keep moving it through here. Here we go. Starting, this is around, I think, 7 a.m. There could be some brief showers early in the morning, but as you can see, those diminish and move out. The rest of your daylight hours on Tuesday seem to be relatively dry and good for outdoor activities. Now, overnight Tuesday night, we're going to get this line of nasty showers and thunderstorms. This could relatively bring a pack a punch, straight line wind damage, maybe some hail. And what I'm going to say is that please bring your pets inside, charge your devices, charge your phone overnight, and make sure you have flashlights so you can see to move around. All right, here's our HRRR significant tornado parameter at 7 p.m. on Tuesday. We're going to take a look overnight Tuesday. So what you're noticing is that it's trying to weaken it, and it's trying to diminish. But this model has biasy of it weakening before it actually gets here. So it's trying to weaken it, but it could re-strengthen and stay the same from when it's back out west because we are in a slight risk for this. That means a level 2 out of 5, which can mean maybe it's a few tornadoes scattered to isolated storms. So that's what this means. So this could hold strength and not diminish this much, but it might not be as strong as it is out west. So we're going to be kind of in the middle, you know? So not too strong, but not too weak. All right, now let's dive into our NAM 3-kilometer model Tuesday at 12 a.m. As you can see, it's showing spotty showers as well. We got a pretty good cluster of showers early in the morning on Tuesday, but as we move further into Tuesday, you can see it weakens and it diminishes. So most of your Tuesday afternoon plans looking pretty dry. It shows a pop-up shower out ahead of this strong line of storms. Now let's take a look at this. This is overnight Tuesday into very early Wednesday morning. We'll get a kind of weakening line. The NAM 3-kilometer showing it kind of weakened, but I do not like that bean-shaped supercell look. But fortunately, it does show it weakening. All right, let's take a look at our NAM 3-kilometer. This is Tuesday or late afternoon into the early evening around 4 p.m. Now let's dive into Tuesday night. As you can see, it's not looking too significant to our southwest, but you see it bubbling up. Bubbling. Look at this strength of the significant tornado parameter. We are seeing some 4s and 5s. What that means, that is a very strong significant tornado parameter. A 5 is, as you can see at the bottom of the scale, that is up there. That is pretty significant. So please take precautions. This could mean pretty strong tornadoes, could be EF2+, but we have to take a look at our different models yet to come.
Okay, so let's dive into another one of our weather models that we use, known as the RRFS. So, as you can see, we're going to start this Tuesday at 12 a.m. You can see some showers in the area, but those move out in the early morning, and you can see most of the day is dry. In fact, all of the day is actually dry until we get into the late evening, moving into the overnight hours when that same line moves through that all the models are showing. Now, what I'm going to point out here is same sort of bias that the HRRR and NAM 3-kilometer have. It wants this line to weaken. I'm not opposed to this line weakening some, but given the environment that we should still have, at least based on current modeling, I don't see it weakening as much. And you can see there's our significant tornado parameter values as that line moves through. You can see not as significant as the NAM 3-kilometer by any means, but you can still see higher values out to our west, and I actually still think this might be a little underdone on the RRFS, which is also a known bias, and we'll see how things look the day of, and that's when it's really important to monitor these type of things. But generally speaking, I'm noticing a line will be in its weakening form, generally speaking, using all of these models. The line will be weakening, but we'll still have a good environment for damaging wind gusts up to 70 miles per hour, I think. Maybe small hail up to quarter size. Don't really expect too much hail. And the risk of brief spin up tornadoes. Now, I want to take a look at two more models that the NWS has said has been doing pretty well with this pattern, has done well with the squall lines that we've been seeing recently. So you can see we're going to start this model. This is the WRF ARW, and you can see we start with some showers. And now just going to say this really quick. If you want to ask me what exactly does the acronym stand for on this model, I couldn't tell you. This is a new model, and so we're still kind of testing out how it's going to do. But you can see early morning Tuesday, those same showers. By daybreak, I think these will be out of here, and the day will be dry. This one actually wants maybe some isolated showers in the afternoon, but we should be relatively dry until the evening when that same line comes through. And this one, it holds together a bit better. We don't have the same significant tornado parameter on this one, but it holds together a bit better on this model, which I think is a bit more accurate. I like the solution that this model's putting out. But one more model that has done very well as well is the same WRF, but this one's the FV3 version of that model. You can see this is that same time Tuesday in the evening when that line moves through. It holds it together quite well, and it actually has a larger bit of bowing segment, so that's where even higher winds are possible, and you can see right up in there. You can take a look at our gust swath where we can see our wind gusts that are predicted. You can see a nice swath of decent wind gusts up to 50 miles per hour. Now take that with a grain of salt, of course. That might not be exactly what occurs, but I think this line will be able to hold together a bit better than what some models are predicting. Otherwise, Tuesday should be relatively dry other than the nighttime, just some spotty showers around, but nothing too significant, I do not believe. Alrighty, so I just wanted to go back to the HRRR real quick and just go through a few of the key players that we're going to have in making or breaking the severe weather. And right now you can see the latest HRRR. This is SRH. So this is basically just the winds in the upper atmosphere called helicity. You can see we've got values in our area just ahead of the line from 150 to 250, which is decent. It's not extraordinarily high, but that should be enough to support thunderstorms, I think. And the Cape, I love using this, our energy in the atmosphere, also right ahead of that line. You see we get numbers up to 1,000, which should be enough to support thunderstorms, but absolutely if this were to be the case, these storms would be on a weakening trend. And you can see out areas to our west and a little earlier in the day, 2,000s out to our west, even 3,000s in those areas. So you can see much better dynamics out in play for those areas, but we could still absolutely see severe weather. Using that same model for the NAM 3 kilometer, we have the other side of the coin where we have 2,000 joules per kilogram of CAPE, which is our energy, so plenty of energy in the atmosphere, let alone looking at our helicity, we have a widespread swath of 200 to even 300 SRH, which is much more conducive of severe weather. So overall, if the NAM 3 kilometer were to be more on the correct side, then we'd see a lot more widespread severe weather, higher damaging wind gusts, higher threat for tornadoes as well. But if the HRRR was right, we couldn't even guarantee we'd get a severe thunderstorm warning. So definitely want to be on the lookout for the rest of the day and into tomorrow, watching what the trends are looking like during the day tomorrow.
Thank you so much for making it to the end of our YouTube video. If you really did enjoy it, please consider subscribing and dropping a like. I really do appreciate it. It really shows how much we did right, and this took a good time to make, so I'd really appreciate it, and we love doing this.
Also, I just wanted to give one quick little shout out to Becca's Jams and Jellies. As I said, none of this would have been possible without her, so we really do appreciate her. This is a absolute dream come true with our sponsorship with them, so we really do appreciate it. But anywho, we just wanted to say thank you so much for supporting. Again, if you would consider liking or subscribing, it would be greatly appreciated. And yeah, that's about it for this video. Have a great day, everyone.